G'day and welcome to my garage.
The the three dividing plates, fraction plates, have been drilled, cleaned up, ready to go. I've got one. This is plate 3, is it? Yeah, plate 3. Plate 1 was a simple plate. This is plate 3 fitted at the moment. I still have to make the sector arms. That will be coming very soon. And I have to make the tail stock, which I need to make a pattern for and mould and cast a tail stock. But as you can see, this now nicely fits. That hole needs a little bit of cleaning. I've put a very slight chamfer on the end of the pin just to help it engage. It just needs a little bit of wiggling to get in there, because some of these holes are not on the same PCD. That was because the drill press has a certain amount of slop in the spindle. I tried my hardest to not get the drill to jump around, but problem was, it's not that the drill was flexing, it was the spindle was moving sideways. So a bit of a wiggle and it'll come together. I've drilled all the hole patterns that were in the book for 40:1. And they all work except for two numbers. I had problems with two numbers, 44 and 28. I couldn't get a divisible number in those. So what I did was removed from plate 1 the 15 hole, and the 15 hole can be done with a 21 hole. I removed the 20 hole ring, and that can be done with a 24 hole ring, and I made a 14 hole pattern. That's the inner ring on this one. 14 hole pattern and a 22 hole pattern, which the 22 is the outer ring. So I've like I said, I've maintained it down to 3 plates. I do have a 4th blanking plate, this one. So whenever that comes up, which I probably will, because after 50 it starts to get a bit dodgy. I haven't calculated out numbers after 50, but I'll see how I go. But for the present moment, these 3 plates came out very nice. As you can see, I've got a knob on the end. Wasn't supposed to have one, but the end of the shaft was a bit annoying, so I fitted a knob. There's a bit of a high spot in this, but it works very well. I need to file this nut down to a 17mm, because the ones on the inside are 17mm. So I want to make this one the same spanner size. No, they're not. They're 18mm. Oh, that's all right then. Hang on. 18. They're not 18 either. That's 18. Oh, I must check that one. That's not 18 either. and that's 18. So that one's okay. It's the one on the inside. Alright, so this all fits up pretty good now. Like I said, I need to make a pattern and cast the tailstock, and I need to find the pattern for the clock hands, the sector arms, because you may remember I cut this off at the hacksaw at the wrong place. So I do. That's it there. Now the other thing, and I can't find it in the book for the life of me, I can't find it in the book. Gingery talks about his sector arms, it's a short section, talks about machining the sector arms and how they go together, and then a 1032 or whatever screw brings these are two halves, brings the two halves together, and you can lock it in where it needs to be blocked. But the sector arms are combined will be as thick as this. Excuse me. So that brings it to the end of the worm drive housing. What holds the sector arms in place as you turn the crank and then slide it to the next position? The commercial units have a spring clip of sorts, or a washer to hold tension on the sector arms, which I could do, but I don't, which I could have done if this housing was longer, but it's not longer, so I haven't got any room here to put an E-clip or anything, so I'm trying to work out what I can do with that. So where was I? Yes, so there's nothing in Gingery's plans as far as I can see, and I haven't read it, of what holds these sector arms in place. And there's not enough housing of the end of the worm carrier to fit into a circlip or an E-clip. So what I was thinking was possibly making a cup that goes over the nuts, and yes, over the nuts and washer, and pressing against, maybe with a boss like this going over the top, maybe with an O-ring glued into the face to create some rubbing tension, and then measurements have to be spot on correct, alright, but that can all be held in place with the sector arm. Like I said, that cup's got to be the right dimension, because it's non-adjustable, isn't it? So that's something I'll be looking at later on. For the present moment, I'm very happy with it. Very pleased with the way it's come out. Even if I do say so myself. Towards the end, or at the end, I'm going to make a cast aluminium plate to go over this. Keep the majority of the stones and dust out of the worm wheel and worm gear. What else? I've got to cut the end of this worm gear off, worm drive off, because that's not necessary. And that will also get in the way of what I'm going to cast for here. And apart from that, there's still a bit of work involved. This is the third time I've started this bit of recording because the camera's playing up. So start again. This is the part of the tailstock. This one will get a 32mm sprue on it, and the tailstock quill will be running through that sprue. There's the tailstock. That's the final drive dog with a got to drill that out. That will have a 32mm sprue. I've already fitted this, so why doesn't that fit? And then this is the second sector arm. I didn't break it, I cut it off there the last time I cast it. So let me go and just quickly drill this fellow out. So I just drilled this out. This is the drive dog, and it has a small hub off to the side for a grub screw, set screw. So I can't do these two at the same time because they take the same sprue. So one of those. One of those. Let's see. I'll feed it that way. Come in from here. And those two. Let's start again. I forgot to put the parting powder on. Alright, you don't need me watching me do this again. Put that there. That looks promising. Oh, you rotten thing. Okay, that's ready to take some metal. There we go. And we'll see how it comes out. Okay, I've broken the casting out of the mould, and very pleased with it. This is the part of the tailstock, and this is a drive dog. So the sprue here was part of the drive dog. I've got good definition except in one place, so this turned out good, that turned out good. Most of the bottom here turned out good. The drive dog turned out good. The only problem I got is I've got a hollow just in there opposite the gate, so it froze. It looks like I should have had a riser close to this gate to keep that liquid, but it's still. I won't be changing. Won't be doing it again. That's still a good casting. That'll clean up nicely. Both of them will clean up very nicely. Now for the next two pieces to cast. What have we got? That. Now, this is the quill support, or the quill for the dividing head tailstock, and this is the other. It's got a funny lump on it there. I'll explain that if it works out. No, I'll explain it when I go to machine it. So I need again. I need a 32mm 1.25" sprue, because that will be the quill spindle will run through there. A 40mm pipe as a riser that will feed got to think this out. I had it earlier and I've now forgotten. So if I feed in between, I can go into the sector arm, come out of the sector arm, feed the riser, come from sprue into the middle of the quill, and then from the quill base plate into the riser to be fed, something like that. That looks pretty good. Okay. They're in the other half. Now, a bit of parting powder this time. As you can see, a fair bit of rubbish. That's the furnace falling apart. Some fell down the hole. I saw some rise up also, so we might be right. Hopefully. I'll find out in half an hour. Right, we'll break this open and see how it turned out. Okay, this is the quill support, or the quill for the tailstock. There's no shrinkage in that at all, and this is the second sector arm, and no shrinkage in that at all. That's nice actually. Those two finished. Should be the last casting I have to do for the dividing head. Now it's down to breaking it apart, cleaning it up and machining it. And that's the other one. So I'm very happy with those actually. I've drilled a centre, excuse me, I've drilled a centre in the two sector arms, and I've scribed a 58 diameter circle, and I'm bringing the two arms together. I'm bringing them down to that 56 circle. I'm no click spring, I'll tell you that now. Okay, you get the idea of what I'm up to. I'll catch you later.